Hey, good morning. In the past, I've talked about the boundary that we each stand at in between two different worlds, our internal world and our external world. And this week, in doing a meditation and a reflection, it kind of struck me that there is a different perspective to that, in that we get to choose how we stand at that threshold. So there is an external world that we can all see and that we share together, and you have an internal world that only you can see. It's kind of right behind your eyes, and your person, your being, gets to stand at that doorway between the two and navigate both worlds. As I've said previously, the internal world is sometimes bigger than the external world, and the more that we know about it, the easier it is to navigate the external world. Having with all of that information, though, it struck me this week that I get to choose how I stand at that doorway, and that how I stand at that boundary often dictates how my internal world reacts and how the external world reacts. It's kind of a subtle thing, but if you can imagine yourself standing in a doorway between two rooms, and the manner in which you stand there determines how one room reacts and how the other room feels. And given all the things that we're going through in the last few months, several months, multiple months, and all the things that are coming up here in the near future and the distant future, sometimes I wonder how I stand in that doorway. And the image kind of comes to mind of holding a boundary there, where I feel like the external world may be pushing in on me, whether that's mentally, emotionally, or even physically, and that boundary feels like it's being pushed on. This meditation, though, was specific in saying that imagination, that story that I'm creating, that boundary is being pushed on all the time, isn't exactly correct. And that I have the ability to stand in that boundary and relax and be calm, because my body is taking care of itself, physically, emotionally, and mentally, and that I don't have to worry so much about being crushed by the external world or the imagination that that's going to happen. So I wonder what it would be like to choose how you would stand in that door. What would it be like for you to relax as you stood in between those two worlds and trust yourself that your skin and your bones and the earth supporting you and your mind and your emotions are able to be in equilibrium with the external world, where it doesn't feel so crushing, where it doesn't feel so invasive, where we don't feel like we're being bombarded by social media or news or text messages. And if I was able, and if I am practicing to choose to stand in that more neutral tone, where I'm not being defensive or offensive, that the two worlds will change. The external world will calm down and the internal world will calm down as well. I'm wondering if that's something that you and I can practice this next few weeks. What will it be like today, tomorrow, and next week to be aware of myself standing in that boundary and choosing to be okay with it, to be calm, be relaxed, and to let things happen externally and to notice things happen internally, and the boundary between the two being safe and secure. My request is to practice that for yourself and see what happens. If you have any questions, I'd be more than willing to talk to you about this, to figure out what your version of it is. Please feel free to comment below. I'm John Rhoads. This is Rhoads Life Coaching. I hope you're able to find purpose and meaning in daily life.